Hi again. This is 10 Minutes with Anthony. My name is Jen Cherney.
And I'm Anthony Iliopoulos. And we're here at Old Town Fitness in Key West, Florida, and it's a special episode of 10 Minutes with Anthony. What we're doing today is, if you notice, around us is a lot of muscular guys walking around, aesthetically physique guys, if you would say. What's happening here is once a year, Artemis Dolphin comes down here, and he's kind of a Instagram social media superstar, and he has a business, the Aesthetic Physique, and a lot of guys have bought into that, and he comes down here with a seminar, and he takes them around Key West and such, and they train here in this gym, which is a throwback type gym to the old days of when guys like that had that kind of physique. Now, for me, on a personal note, when I first started in bodybuilding, I came in kind of after the late 90s, and guys were starting to become mass monsters. And I wasn't. I looked more like a guy that was from the 70s. But that wasn't really popular when I first used to compete in the late 90s, early 2000s to the mid 2000s. And a lot of people used to, I would get my brains beat out in a lot of contests, but a lot of guys would come up to me afterwards and say, hey, I appreciate that physique, the old style 70s Zane-like physique. Well, that was great and everything, but it didn't really help me too much. I mean, there's guys here and there. A few years ago, that number seemed to have built where a lot of people like that. And this gentleman here, Artemis, has kind of capitalized on it, where he has an aesthetic physique. And rather than worrying about, being a mass monster and beating these guys en masse, here, this is what I got. It's my aesthetic physique. And it's become very popular, and popular enough that in the last few years, the NPC and the IFBB have developed a classic physique division. And it's getting more and more like that 70s type bodybuilding. So what he does is he's got a very nice physique, an aesthetic physique, and he's come up with a clothing line. And a lot of these guys that follow him, and they want to look like that. They don't want to be mass monsters and this and that. And so he brings them down here. They come down and they train in the gym a few days, and they go swim in the ocean and paddleboard and do other things you do in Key West. Very good idea, by the way. And he's very popular, very good guy. Very personable. He's got a clothing line and everything else, and we'll get him on in a little bit to talk a little bit more about that.
All right, so another kind of issue that came up in the past few days is the issue with your dog. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, my dog is going to ultimately succumb to arthritis. She has arthritis really bad, and I've had some major injuries and everything else, and it's never really kept me out of the gym. I didn't go to the gym all week. It's been real tough. I've been real worried about her. I'm going to do whatever I can diet-wise and supplement-wise, whatever it takes to make her life as comfortable and prolong her life as much as possible. I mean, she is my heart, and it's a very difficult situation for me, but she's being strong. She's hurting and everything, but we're gonna, I love her, and I'm gonna cherish every single moment with her, because it's not gonna be sudden. I know she's going, and I won't take any day. Every day is a blessing with her. I don't want to take it for granted, and Jan, to me, Jan is the best video guy, most talented video guy in the world, in my opinion, and he's gonna make a nice tribute video for me. For Shotzi, something I have to remember her forever, so, and I appreciate that, Jan.
I hope she's not going to bite me in the process.
She's never bit anybody. She bit her sister this week, which was one of the weird things, but she's very mild-mannered, and she's in a lot of pain, but we're working on that, and we're going to get her, every day that she can stay with me is a blessing, In the old days, they used to call these pork chop sideburns, and when I was younger, in like middle school, well, this junior high back then, I wasn't so great with my showering habits, and my hair used to be a little greasy going through puberty. And people used to say all the time, that boy looks like he combed his hair with a pork chop. but these are kind of pork chop sideburns, and I have long hair, so my hair's down and flowing when I'm not doing things like riding motorcycles and lifting weights, and my hair's long and flowing, and I think it'll look good, kind of tuck it behind the ear, kind of a rock star. Like, since I do have a credit on a written song and several others in the work, so.
Okay, tell us the difference between posing at a gym and posing on stage.
Well, I mean, you do have to pose in a gym because you don't want to be on stage and pose for the first time. This is really cool, these guys here, because they're kind of motivating each other and this and that. You don't want to go to a contest, where you're the biggest guy in your gym, and all of a sudden you get backstage and you see all these other guys, and you get like a friend of mine used to always say, you don't want to get penis envy back there and think everybody's bigger than you. But no, I mean, there's a big difference, between posing in a gym and doing it after you've cut water, dieting down the lights, and getting yourself stage ready. I mean, it's a huge difference. It's about the same as like if you were a fighter kicking a bag that's in one place and then going and trying to kick a guy in a cage or something like that. Or
what about stage fright? Have you ever had it when you started competing?
Yeah, I used to hope that, it's a funny thing, I used to hope that somebody would pull the fire alarm right before we went on so I wouldn't have to go out there and compete and we could just run. But the one time when I won the Masters at the Dexter Jackson in 2010, ironically, somebody actually, a light broke on stage, and the smoke caused the fire alarm to go off, and they evacuated everybody. And that was the one time I won, is it got evacuated, but luckily we went back on.
You seem pretty natural in front of the camera. Is that a big difference, to be acting in front of the camera as opposed to in front of the audience?
I mean, I think we're all scared, and it's much comfortable to be in your room and everything. But once you can push yourself out there, then you get over that fear. It's just like, it's that initial punch in the face, now I'm ready to go. But to me, it was always the buildup of, once you're out there, then everything, the faces all look, you can't, a lot of times you can't even see the people anyway because the light's shining in your face. But it's just that anticipation, okay, we're going on. But I don't know, I used to be a lot, the last few times I competed, I mean, I don't remember even thinking that. I remember being pretty indifferent and just walking out there like nothing. Maybe that's just age,
Yeah, once you hop on the stage, the training kicks in, and you're kind of like doing just what you've done, what you practice for at the gym.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked this. I'm 50. I'm going to be 51 here pretty soon, I guess, in August. And I mean, I've been involved in bodybuilding many more years in my life than I haven't been. So I mean, it's a very natural thing to my physique to look a certain way, I guess, and to present it a certain way and move a certain way. So it's just a matter of just doing everything I'm supposed to do leading up to that, the cardio, the diet, whatever, the make sure the tanning is right, the suit fits right, everything else, and then just let it rip. I mean, they'll let you know what to do, quarter turn, front double bicep, just listen to what they tell you and just hit them.
Okay, that's all the time we had. Jen Cherney.
Anthony Christopher Iliopoulos.
See you later.